Hello everybody and welcome back to our Fast Fact series. I'm Ted, your host, and for this Fast Fact we're going to look at the Abbasid Dynasty. Now the Abbasid Dynasty rose to power following a revolt in Persia, or modern day Iran, in 750 of the Common Era. The Abbasids were ethnic Persians who had converted to Islam following the ascendancy of Islam. Now, during this period, the Islamic capital shifted once again, this time to the closer to the Persian heartland, to Baghdad. And Baghdad was founded in 762 of the Common Era, on the outskirts of the old Parthian capital of Ctesiphon. Now, the Umayyad dynasty, the previously ruling dynasty of the Islamic world, of this burgeoning Islamic empire, their dynasty survived the overthrow. They fled westward to the western extreme of the Islamic world, to Islamic Spain, or Al-Andalus, where they established themselves in Cordoba. Now, Baghdad was located at a very critical junction where many important trade routes converged. Baghdad grew rich and it flourished. It developed into the very crucial center for the exchange of goods and ideals from all over the Islamic world. And the spread of trade was bolstered by the fact that Muhammad, the Islamic prophet, he himself had been a merchant. Typically in just about every culture, every society, merchants have been this sort of out on the outskirts of society. They'd never been really high. It's an interesting feat that within Islamic society, merchants have this exalted position in Islamic society. And sort of like how businessmen sort of had this exalted position in modern society, when throughout history that would have been the exact opposite. They would have been middlemen who would have been despised by just about every other segment of society. But it was bolstered by that fact, and this society saw an explosion of trade. Has new trade routes opened up, and new crops and new goods were exchanged. The goods would have been agricultural products such as rice, lemons, sugarcane, watermelon, spinach, cucumber, and these goods like that would have been exchanged throughout the old trade routes, throughout the ancient trade routes like the Silk trade routes, and then these new burgeoning Islamic controlled trade routes. During the later Crusades, these crops would be exported back to the kingdoms of Western Europe, and the high food surpluses, particularly around areas like Baghdad, fueled rapid urban growth. By 900, Baghdad alone was one of the largest and most cosmopolitan cities of the world. Traders from many different cultures and religions were invited to come into Baghdad and set up shop, and they were afforded a reasonable amount of religious tolerance by the Abbasid caliphs. We'll break here. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you thought about the Abbasids, and what at the time would have been one of the more fabulous cities of the world, Baghdad. As always, I'm Ted, and I'll see you guys next time for another Fast Fact.